So y'all already knew this commentary was coming. And I know I haven't been following anything Harvey Weinstein related because, to be honest, I was so over the dog and pony shows for the last year. I mean, the two biggest, I think, dog and pony shows that occurred last year had to be this trial and the whole impeachment thing with Donald Trump. Notice I really didn't speak on any of those at all. Like I probably talked about Harvey Weinstein here and there, mainly making fun of the fact that this man is using a walker as a crutch, even though we know this man does not need no walker. And that was probably it. So I think the last time I did a video about Weinstein was maybe November at that. I can't remember. See, that's how much it was. But I wanted to focus more on trials and cases that did not get mainstream media's attention, as y'all already know when I was talking about the Sean Urbanski one, the one with John Lee Coward. You know those stories. You know mainstream media doesn't pick that up because it's of no importance to them. But I'm going to talk about what I believe is of importance to me, and I think y'all would agree with that. But I knew I was going to do a video talking about the verdict when it came about with Harvey Weinstein. And I'm not surprised with what came back. I was watching a video that Vicky Dillard did, I think it was last Friday, where she said that the jury had deadlocked on the two major charges against Weinstein that would have sent him to prison for the rest of his life. And when I heard that, I said, yeah, they're going to find him not guilty on those two charges. And lo and behold, here we are on Monday, where the verdict has come out that he was found not guilty on those two charges. They got him on everything else, the other three, I believe. I may be wrong, but I haven't read the article yet. With those three charges, basically the lesser charges. I think one of them is probation based, and one he can be sentenced up to 25 years. And I need people to really pay attention to context. When they say up to 25 years, that doesn't mean he's going to serve 25 years. That just means that that's the max he can get. He can get less than that, but it can't go past 25 years. I think at minimum he can get 3 years. But you already know his lawyers and attorneys are going to appeal the hell out of that sentence. I'm not out of that sentence, out of that verdict. Now, the sentencing happens on March 11th. Now, that's the part where a lot of people need to focus on to see what's actually going to happen. So we got about maybe another 2 weeks, just about, before that comes out. And I, for one, will not hold my breath when that happens. But we shall see what actually goes down. We about to see what Me Too is really made of. But I am curious, though, what does Gloria Allbad have to say about this, considering that video I just recently did on her where she pretty much exposed her own ass in front of that reporter. But we know what wavelength she's on. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read this article. It was posted on February 24th at 2:04 p.m. Well, it may have been updated because it was actually before then when I got it. It says, Harvey Weinstein, the disgraced former Hollywood producer, was found guilty of criminal sexual assault and of rape in the third degree in New York court on Monday. He was found not guilty on the more serious charges of predatory sexual assault and of rape in the first degree. The judge in the case remanded Weinstein, age 67, into custody without bail against his attorney's request. Attorney Donna Rotuno said in court Monday she was requesting house arrest, citing letters from his doctor, as he was found not guilty of the most serious charges he was charged with. Weinstein had been using a walker throughout the trial. Weinstein may be sentenced by the judge on March 11th. Now look at that, may be sentenced on March 11th. Keywords there is may be, meaning it's not guaranteed he will even be sentenced on that day. See what I mean when I say this is nothing more than a dog and pony show? One accuser, Miriam Mimi Halayi, a former production assistant who had worked for Weinstein, claimed he assaulted her at his apartment in 2006. The jury found that Weinstein forced a sex act on her. The charge of rape in the third degree came from Jessica Mann, who is now being named by ABC News, as she told the district attorney's office she does not object to being named publicly. That charge came with sentencing guidelines of probation for up to 4 years. C. Vance, the district, or is it C. Vance or Cy Vance? I want to say that it's C. The district attorney of Manhattan said at a press conference that the case and the women who testified against Weinstein pulled our justice system into the 21st century. Rape is rape whether it's committed by a stranger in a dark alley or by a domestic partner in a working relationship, Vance said, adding that he owes an immense debt to the women who had the courage beyond measure to testify. Weinstein was charged with raping one woman, now acknowledged as man, in a Manhattan hotel room in 2013 and performing a forcible sex act on a different woman who has identified herself as Halayi in 2006. He pled not guilty to all charges and claimed any sexual encounters were consensual. In addition to the two women behind those charges, 4 others testified in support of prosecutors' efforts to demonstrate a pattern of sexual predation. Prosecutors were attempting to convict him on 2 predatory sexual assault counts, both of which carried possible sentences of 10 years to life. Ronan Farrell, one of the journalists who reported on the extensive allegations against Weinstein, told Good Morning America in January that prosecutors were taking a big risk by seeking those charges. It is difficult, this element of proving not only the charges at issue, but also a courage of conduct. A pattern sets a very high goal. It's atypical, Farrell said, adding that it is not a slam dunk case. More often, you'd see something like a prior conviction being the predicate that establishes the pattern. Here, they have to prove brand new additional fact patterns. Heading into Monday, the jurors had deliberated for 16 hours, including about 4 hours of testimony being read back. The jury had indicated some trouble in coming to a decision, which included days of deliberation. On Friday, they had asked the judge if they could be hung on counts 1 and or 3, the predatory charges, and the unanimous on the other charges. In total, 28 witnesses were called in the trial. While it is disappointing that today's outcome does not deliver the true full justice that so many women deserve, Harvey Weinstein will now forever be known as a convicted serial predator. The Silence Breakers, a group of people who have accused Weinstein of assault, said in a statement Monday, this conviction would not be possible without the testimony of the courageous women and the many women who have spoken out. Me Too, a movement founded in 2006, said we could do well to ask ourselves how many of these women's names we can actually remember beyond the bold-faced few. Certainly Harvey's name will be seared in our collective memories, but many of the survivors will be quietly taking stock of the impact. Isn't it interesting they mentioned Me Too, but they didn't mention Tarana Burke? Not that I give a damn about her, but I mean, well, she allowed her own movement to be hijacked to get some clout, so it doesn't matter at this point. And notice they have something there called the Silence Breakers. Anyway, yeah, so Harvey Weinstein, they only got him on 2 of the few charges that he had up against him. I don't expect much to really come from this, but we shall see what happens or may happen on March 11th, because those were their words. They say he may be sentenced. So we shall see. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you haven't done so already, follow me on Twitter. Have your notifications turned on, and I will talk to you in the next one.